Hello, Gemini. So this is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Gemini their June 2021 Tarotscope. If you are a long-term reader, or what? A long-term reader of my column? A long-term listener of this channel, I would suggest going to listening to the collective reading. It talks about some of the changes that I've made to the channel, and yeah, even if you're a new subscriber, it might benefit you to go listen to the collective reading as well, because I talk about like some of the newer topics of the channel, but I also kind of go over some of the general energies that I'm going to be talking about in the tarot scopes. So yeah, and I'm gonna start doing more collective readings as I go through the tarot scopes as well. Whenever I do those, because I'm going to start doing those a little bit more frequently than I'm doing them right now, or than I was doing them in the past, because I am doing them right now. So it's like, you know, and time doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'm using the Energy Oracle to do the overall energies of the tarot scope, and then I'm going to be using the Universal Tarot, or at least at this reading, for further clarification. Yeah, so I'm just going to get into the reading now. I'm going to be shuffling, you know, as I go through the reading, as I normally do. I'm just, you know. But, yeah. Anyway, Gemini, I hope you're having a great June. I hope you've had a good year so far. You know I've been in and out since, like, the new year, but I'm really trying to dedicate myself to the channel a little bit more. A lot of my videos are gone. I've taken them out of public consumption, but that's really because I was just not feeling like a lot of them had to be out anymore. Okay, so we have 3 cards for you. These are similar cards to some of the other readings. Like, actually, all 3 of these cards came out for the other readings, so that might be something that's going to continue to happen, but I'm okay with that. I put one of the cards back because I didn't really feel like it resonated with the message that I was picking up on. For the other 2, I know I could have made it work, but I didn't really feel like it. So the first energy oracle card that we have is the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which is the throat chakra. That's interesting because I'm also associating this with the planet Mercury, so which is the planetary ruler of Gemini. This is a 39, reducing down to a 12, which is also resonating with the energy of 3. Archangel Gabriel might be archangel that you work with at this time. What I get with this card is really that, you know, you are emphasizing, you know, how you communicate with others through a creative path, and also through verbally, through communication, whether that's communication through text messages or communication within yourself. So this is very much a 4D energy. You might be resonating right now more so with the 4D, with the mental space, with mental communication, whether that's telepathy and psychics and things like that, or whether that's literally through like online communication or through your online presence, your social media. Maybe you're also making YouTube videos and stuff like that, Gemini. It also has to do with how you express yourself, and also how you express your intuition as well. So think about, like, how are you expressing yourself? Are you connecting yourself to the identity that you feel at the present, and making sure that, you know, the way that you communicate through your throat chakra, through your actual voice and your speech, is resonating with who you are and your own personal morals, your own identity, and making sure that you're actually speaking as an empowered individual, or also, adversely, that your communication is empowering others. All of these topics might be important to you at this time. Now we're going to get a little bit of tarot to explain some of these other cards, or some of these other topics. We have the Hermit coming out in the beginning, meaning that you might be going through your own path of spirituality right now, coming to your own conclusions about spiritual topics in your own life. You're isolating yourself right now to also kind of develop, I'm seeing, your own abundance, but also your own connection to spirit, your own connection to source. You might even be trying to protect certain aspects of your spirituality right now by staying silent about them in public spaces, or with certain relationships in your life, and that's fine. Just understand that it's mostly about, and this is something that I've seemed to be emphasizing in all the readings so far, it's about boundaries. It's about understanding that certain things don't need to be communicated with other people all the time. Maybe you need to have more people around you that are just more spiritual, that you can talk about spiritual concepts with, and then you also have people around you that are just friends that you shoot the shit with, and that's fine too. Honestly, I'm also seeing that you might be a Virgo placement, and that would be interesting to see with the Hermit being a representation of Virgo, and the fifth chakra reminding me of Mercury, and how Virgo and Gemini are sister signs. Any more cards that we have out for the fifth chakra? Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel might be a guide for you, leading you down the spiritual path that you are on. Your guides are definitely with you, trying to get you to understand that certain parts of your path are specifically only for you. We also have the Page of Wands coming out here, talking about your connection to the universe, talking about your connection to the self, the higher self and the lower self. This is something that you want to develop further on, possibly through study, or possibly even through your own spiritual working. We also have the Lovers here. The Lovers being about, this is also Gemini energy for you as well, Mercurial energy as well, where it is about making a balanced choice with your guides, with your own divinity, towards love, possibly even towards other beneficial relationships, whether that's on a romantic level or not. Also coming into a greater understanding about what it is that's going to benefit you on a material level, what is abundant when it comes to your relationships versus what is not. You might be sitting more in your masculine energy right now, Gemini, but also understand that masculine energy has a duality to it. It is part of the duality, you might be sitting in your yang energy, but there's also always an energy of the yin within you as well. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. And those are the last cards that I'm getting out for the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. The Page of Pentacles really talks to me about you having something to offer on a material level. You might be wanting to develop something on a material level. You might even be wanting to start a new job or start a new situation. You might be giving, they're saying giving money to others, or might even be giving gifts right now. Gemini season is here, so maybe somebody is giving a gift to you. You could even be coming into new spiritual ideas or lessons because of the gifts that you're receiving for your birthday or through your birthday season. By the way, happy birthday to any actual Gemini suns out there. This is an energy that's also going to be helping you develop further on your spiritual path. I see the Page of Pentacles as a sister energy, or as a compatible energy. They said sister energy, but it's a compatible energy to the Page of Wands. So you could be connecting to a fire sign individual or an earth sign individual, especially a Virgo, that might be helping you on your journey as well here, Gemini. With the Five of Cups, I see that there might have been some heartbreaks, there might have been some negative situations in the past that have hurt your ego, or that have hurt you on an emotional level. They're saying it's more about your ego though, and there is spilled milk in the fields. But understand that it's being soaked up by the dirt, so there's nothing to cry about. It's kind of like it's going back to the universe. Whatever it is that you've lost, just think of it as going back to the universe, instead of making it to be such a big deal, making it out to be such a big deal. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering over myself so much. Maybe you need to focus on kind of coming into a greater awareness of your connection to your throat chakra and how to express what it is you're thinking and feeling at this time. And maybe there's somebody around you, this Virgo fire sign placement that I'm seeing, that might help you. We also have the Ten of Pentacles out here. You might be coming into a union with another individual. The Ten of Pentacles can always be about divine union, especially with the Lovers being out here. This might be about a marriage or a marriage partner that you have. But this could also be about monetarily coming into a union with money, or coming into a union with a new monetary situation that might benefit you for the long term. I see the long term. I see, this might even benefit your future generations of your family, if that's something that you think about on a regular basis. This also might just be money that you're taking home for your pets. So it could be any of those energies as well. We have nothing else coming out for the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So I'm moving on to this next card, which is Indecision. This card also came out, I believe, for the collective reading. So this is interesting that it's coming out for you as well. Especially in this, because the energy oracle has like 55 cards in it. So Indecision is kind of leading me to believe that there might be an experience right now where you are faced with either the different aspects of yourself, especially as a Gemini, but also that you're faced with decisions that you have to determine what path is going to benefit you the most right now. Whether that's a decision with a relationship, they're saying, or whether that's a decision with career, or even decisions with your spiritual path as well. All of those might be coming into question. The first tarot card that we have out for you is the World. There are cycles in your life that are ending for you right now, possibly due to a stubborn attitude, or possibly a surprise ending. that will be leading to new beginnings, and some of that comes at the heels of this indecision that you are feeling right now. That you're facing indecision, you're making decisions to change things in your life, even in the relationship sector of your life, and you're coming into a more grounded, more realistic perspective and a realistic approach to things. You're being more stubborn and being more sturdy within your own energy, and kind of being realistic with people about how you feel about the things that you want to do. With indecision, can I have a next tarot card for that? Indecision is also a card that resonates with the vibration of 8. So you might be seeing synchronicities with the number 8 or the number 3 as well. You might even have Taurus placements, because those are their synchronicities for Taurus. The ice in my cup. I swear. Oh my gosh. Okay. We also have Judgment out as well. You might be dealing with an Aries or have an Aries placement as well. There might, that is Archangel Gabriel in justice. That is Archangel Gabriel. Mercury retrograde might be affecting you very deeply, because it is affecting me in this reading. Archangel Gabriel coming out twice in this reading, meaning that your guides are definitely on your side, and it is judgment time for you or some other individuals in your life. You might even be cutting people out right now, or be looking to bring reunions into your life in some way, whether these are friends or romantic partners. There is a new energy coming into your life. If you so choose. There is a resurrection, but there also is judgment. You are making judgment calls. You are connecting to your intuition and using that strong sense of discernment, that Mercury energy, to really figure out what is benefiting you. Certain things will end so that new things will begin, and that's all due to the decisions that you are making in this life right now. Some of these decisions that you make right now might hurt other people's feelings, and ultimately I don't think that's your problem, Gemini, and I think you're coming into an awareness that that's not really your problem either. So really, really focus on, being steadfast in your decisions moving forward. We also have Strength out, meaning that somebody around you might not be communicating with you very effectively. Strength is a card that is 8, and it also this Roman numeral is 8. It's VIII, which is 8. Also, the depiction of Strength has a woman with an infinity symbol above her head, reminding you that you are infinitely connected to the universe through your intuition, and using your intuition to guide you into these situations where you use your connection to spirit to make decisions is going to lead you down a path where you are going to be empowered. You are going to be able to face the demons in this life, whether they are external or internal. You might need to hold back on saying everything that it is that comes to your mind. You also might be dealing with a Leo person at this time. I'm also getting a depiction of you having that Wizard of Oz moment, where it's kind of like, or because it's really like she's wearing a red hood, so it's like Little Red Riding Hood, but I'm seeing like Wizard of Oz right here, where it's kind of like there might be wacky characters in your life that are kind of like guiding you along your path as well. You might have some ancestors that kind of have some wacky personalities that are kind of coming through to help you during these times, especially if you connect to that energy. But it also could be that they are helping you and you are just, working with your own connection to the universe, and they just happen to be there as well. Whether you connect to your guides or not, ultimately you are supported by them, and I think that's really what's standing out here to me. Anything else that we have for indecision? All the cards seem to be falling to the floor, so something really in your life might be ending here. And things might be falling apart for you. You might have a Taurus placement with the Empress here. This also is possibly a Libra placement as well. This is also an indication that the Divine Feminine is here. The energy of the Divine Feminine is here to remind you that abundance is yours, as long as you work with the law of attraction to allow abundance to come into you, instead of forcing things to come into you by taking extreme or unnecessary action. Ooh. The end goal for you might not necessarily be to... This is Gemini. Yeah, so the end goal for you, you might have somebody around you who is really representing the Divine Feminine. You might be the Divine Feminine for somebody else. With the Lovers here and the Empress, There might be cycles that are stopping you right now, or you might even be deciding on whether or not you want to be pregnant, because the pregnancy energy is really coming through strong with the Empress here. The reason why I was actually confused on whether or not this was Gemini is because for some reason when I saw the Empress, I was talking about Taurus. I just wanted to make sure that I haven't been calling you another sign. This is a very fertile energy for you, so I would definitely be focused on using protection if you are, you know, active in that way, because this would be a great indication that you might become pregnant soon. Also because there is a baby in this card, Judgment, so there might be even the energy of, you know, an unborn child that's surrounding you right now, and that might be something that you need to kind of you can connect with it. They're saying you don't have to. They're saying you don't have to, but, you know, that might be something that's happening for you as well. Ooh. It's developing in the energy. If you do have this child will be very different than the other children in your family, but it will be a welcomed addition as long as you know, have the child, I guess. You are also taking power in positions. You're taking a power position in your life by letting yourself be in control of situations in a very calm manner. They're saying that these are the only cards that I need to pull out for indecision. You're kind of being guided towards making decisions in your life through being faced with a sense of indecision as well. So it's kind of like because you're being forced into, you know, these situations where you're not really knowing what to do, it's really giving you a stronger sense of discernment overall. Okay, so the next energy oracle card that we have is the Door to Value. You are being guided towards a new beginning on the career front, possibly, or possibly also on the area of life where it has to do with your own personal self-esteem. And understanding that this is not all about material abundance, but this is also about, you know, looking in the mirror and really understanding what it is you have to offer to others. The Door to Value is a 31, resonating with the energy vibration of 4. 4 being about 2 plus 2. 4 is a very even number. 4 is more even than 2, and ultimately out of the, in numerology, I always like to think of 4 as like a number that would really be associated with divinity due to its organized nature. And so you might be feeling very organized right now, which is interesting because that would really go against some of the energy of Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde can also be about disorganization, in my own opinion. I'm not necessarily an astrologer though, so don't take that, but I'm just saying that, like, you know, being disorganized would be part of that in my mind, because, you know, it would really kind of clutter up the communication aspect of, you know, life. The Door to Value would also be an indication though that if you do get organized in the material sense, or in your other aspects of life, that materials or monetary abundance might come into your life at this time, which might be important to you, especially if you are trying to have more children, or if you're trying to expand on a family situation, or if you're trying to have this divine union with your soulmate or your partner or whatever. This also could just be that you're married and that you're, you know, money's coming in from both ends, and that's great. Okay, so the next cards we have out for the Door to Value, we have the Two of Wands talking about obligation to me. The Two of Wands would say that you are trying to figure out what you're going to do next, what is important to you. The Door to Value is open for you, but you're trying to determine what also is valuable in your life as well, and really deciding what you want to take action on. You are kind of guarded in this energy of the Two of Wands, but you're also really you're ready to take action, but you're sitting in the potential energy before you take a leap. And that's fine, because it would benefit you to really sit in that mental energy, with the High Priestess coming out as your next card to emphasize what the Door to Value is talking about, saying that you need to use your logic, you need to use your intuitive mind and your logical mind to really work with the different polarities of your life, and you know, study what it is that you are doing. You are in a very studious energy right now, and it might benefit you to study, even do some personal study if you know, if you need to be enlightened about certain topics in your own job front and things like that before making a move or taking action towards a new beginning in that area of life. We have the Seven of Cups coming out, so you might have a lot of options, especially on the material front or on the job front, that would be affecting you in this energy. Some of the options will benefit you, but it's also kind of like, you know, know, those old game shows where sometimes they open the door and it's like, you know, like a random ass animal or something. But in this case, it would be an alligator, it would be a dragon, it would be a snake, you know. It would be something kind of scary, something that wouldn't really benefit you. But you could also find some real beauty in being able to have these options and being open to having these options. And this might even be on an emotional level. So if this is about like your relationships, you might have a lot of options in a relationship and you want this divine union and you want this, you know, possibility of the potential of having children and things like that. And you have to clear out some of these external relationships before you make a choice towards what it is that you genuinely want. Understanding what it is that benefits you and making a choice to cut out what doesn't, which is partially also cutting out the illusions of life in general and kind of getting more organized in the energy. We also have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man has been coming out for a lot of these readings. The Hanged Man here, this is an emphasis. You might be dealing with a Pisces individual because we have the Hanged Man and the High Priestess coming out in the same area of the reading. I also think that you might... so you might be dealing with the Pisces, you also might be dealing with a Leo, you also might have these placements in your own chart as well. This is talking about the birth chart, and when I say your own chart, I'm talking about the birth chart. So I don't know if anybody's listening to this, but if anybody wants to, I would always suggest going to like, there's a lot of different websites, like type into Google birth chart analysis, and then you can go to those places and they'll ask you for your date of birth and the time and the place, and you put all that information in, and then it'll give you a rundown of the birth chart, which is really just a snapshot of your astrological placements at your time of birth, which is essential to who you are as you develop through life, although it's not necessarily always consistent with who you end up being. So it's really up to you to determine a lot of that information, and that's why a lot of people don't really understand the things about astrology, is because astrology is also a developmental form of divination, meaning that while your birth chart is an indication of who you have the potential to be in different situations in your own life, astrology also can help you understand who you are at the moment, but you have to understand how to use that, and I'm not here to explain that to you right now. I'm trying to give Gemini their Tarotscope. So any other cards for the door to value? Jesus. Oh, okay, now we have the Ace of Swords. So, and this is the last card for the door to value. So really communicate effectively. When it's time to take action, make sure that you are communicating effectively with the people that you need to be communicating with about taking action, whether that's on the job front, whether that's on the emotional front, whether it's in relationships, platonic or romantic. Make sure that you are communicating. Come from that place of self-esteem. And this is also kind of pulling me back to what I was saying in the beginning of the reading for you, Gemini, when I was saying, you know, connect to your sense of self and really communicate how you feel based on your identity. Make sure that the way that you feel through your solar plexus chakra is also being communicated through your throat chakra as well, whether that's through your creative endeavors or whether that's through your communicative endeavors, whether that's at work or whether that's in your relationships. That's really what's being emphasized now, is being very forthright in the energy of communication. Here's the Ace of Swords giving you the go ahead to be honest with the people around you in your life. And really come from a place of saying, I have the self-esteem and I am worth the energy. You need to listen to me. Period. On the bottom of the Energy Oracle deck, we have carrying connection. So if you are worried about a soulmate connection right now, I don't think you really need to be worried about it. I think this connection is in a good place. I think this connection is going to a good place. I see support on both sides, masculine and feminine. I also see support from the divine helping you to guide this relationship towards the next level if that's what you wish to do. You are being protected, you are being guided with the sun and all the other symbols in this card. I think honestly that there also might be an individual, if you are single, there might be somebody looking out for you right now who really wants a carrying connection for you as well. Ultimately, I'm going to pull another energy oracle card. I'm feeling called to do that, so I'm going to be pulling another energy oracle card for some continued advice with carrying connections. Though, oh wow, okay, so we have a man holding a heart here. So especially if you are a feminine, there's a masculine who is coming around you right now who really wants to start a new beginning with you. If you're a masculine, maybe that's the energy that you're in and you're looking at a feminine, but it doesn't really matter. But that's the guidance right now. Somebody really has hold of your heart, and you are in a very romantic situation. Somebody might even be treating you for your birthday right now, and that would be a great, great gift. Honestly, wow. I was not expecting that card to come out. This is definitely the energy of romance, the energy of love, the energy of, being protected by the masculine. The masculine's coming here to give something to you. This man even might have a gift, something that would appeal to the heart space within the Gemini, because I see the Gemini as the person who's getting the gift. So even if you are a feminine, or even if you are a masculine, maybe the feminine is coming through to give you the gift, and they're in the masculine energy because they have something to offer here in this situation. You know what I mean? Or they want to push the situation forward with you, and that's great energy. If you are focused more on the career front here, I would say that you might have a new beginning in the career front, and that ultimately you're going to have what it is that you need to get through, because you're connecting with yourself on a higher and a lower level. With this carrying connections, this might even be a connection between you and your guides, where your guides are watching over you right now and helping you navigate through life through their own divine love for you. And that would be an interesting way to take the reading as well. Wow. Okay. And the carrying connections is a 14, adding up to a 5. The man holding a heart is a 45, reducing to a 9. So 5 and 9 might be important cards or numbers for you, resonating. I always associate the 5 and 9 together, but I'm not completely sure why, because the 5 is more about change and pivot, and it's more of like the pivot energy of change, and the 9 is more about the coming to a conclusion. So they are similar in that energy, but not necessarily. So I would do my own research on numerology if that's something that really sticks out to you. I do always like to mention that with the energy oracle specifically. Hopefully you got something good out of this reading, Gemini, and I will see you in your next reading. Until then, goodbye. Oh my God.